Level 1. The Flash. 8:15 a.m., August 6, 1945. You're 14 years old. You're standing in your school courtyard, 1.4 kilometers from downtown Hiroshima. Clear blue Monday morning. Someone is talking. Then the world turns white. Not bright, white. Pure, absolute, instantaneous white. A uranium bomb called Little Boy detonates 600 meters above Shima Hospital. The fireball reaches 7,700 degrees Celsius. Ground temperature hits 3,000 to 4,000 degrees. The sun's surface is 5,500 degrees. This is hotter. Within half a mile of the hypocenter, human beings vaporize. Not killed, vaporized. They leave shadows burned into stone. Outlines pressed into concrete steps and walls by thermal radiation so intense their bodies absorbed it before the shock wave arrived. You're 1.4 kilometers away. That's the only reason you're not a shadow. The blast wave reaches you 4 seconds after the flash. In those 4 seconds, you're already on fire. Thermal radiation travels at light speed. Your uniform ignites. Skin on your arms begins peeling. The pressure wave throws you backward into rubble that used to be a building. You open your eyes. The sky is dark with smoke. A mushroom cloud arises from where downtown used to be. You're alive. 80,000 people within the blast radius are not. Another 60,000 will die by year's end. Your first thought isn't gratitude. It's, I'm on fire. I need to move. Level 2. The first hour. 8:16 to 9:15 a.m. The city no longer exists. You stand up. That's the first miracle, that you can. Your arms are burned, skin loose like wet paper. You walk because stopping feels like dying. The city is flat gray rubble, punctuated by skeletal concrete frames. 70% of buildings destroyed. You pass your friend. His foot soles are completely burned off, raw red muscle exposed. He's crawling on hands and knees. You try to help him. He screams when you touch him. You keep walking because you don't know what else to do. You pass people standing upright who appear uninjured. They're already dead from blast concussion, internal hemorrhaging with no external wound. You pass a mother sitting on the ground holding an infant. Neither is moving. You keep walking. The Oda River runs through Hiroshima. Everyone is moving toward water. You reach the riverbank. Hundreds of burned people crawl and stagger toward the water. You wade in chest deep. The cold water feels precious as treasure. Your burn stops screaming, momentarily. Bodies float past you, some still moving, some asking for water. You watch a woman 20 meters from you holding her 1-year-old son. His face is cut open by glass, blood everywhere, but he looks up at her and smiles. He doesn't understand what happened. You'll later learn he died on August 28th, 22 days from now. Hiroshima had 298 doctors before 8:15 a.m. By 9 a.m., 270 are dead or incapacitated. Level 3. The Black Rain. 9:30 to 11 a.m. It begins to rain. The drops are large, unnaturally large, the size of marbles, dark and oily. The rain comes from the mushroom cloud, hundreds of tons of dust, ash, radioactive particles condensing and falling back to Earth. The rain is black. It falls in wide drops that leave dark stains on your clothing and skin. It soaks into water supplies, rice fields, your open wounds, and it's radioactive. You're thirsty. You've been walking for an hour in August heat with burns covering your body. Your throat is raw from smoke. The black rain falls on you. You drink it because you cannot not drink it. You drink from puddles forming in the rubble. Every desperate person around you is doing the same. You don't know the rain is radioactive. You find shelter in concrete ruins, 3 walls still standing, and sit down. You're drinking radioactive rain because you have no choice. You survived 3 things that should have killed you. The worst hasn't arrived yet. Level 4. The Walking Dead. Days 1 to 7. Your body turns against itself. On day 2, you vomit, violently, completely, without warning. Then again. Then again. This is acute radiation syndrome. High-energy gamma rays and neutrons released by the bomb passed through your body at 8:15 a.m. They struck the DNA in your cells, destroying rapidly dividing cells, your intestinal lining, and bone marrow that produces blood. The vomiting comes in two phases. First wave, within hours, acute reaction. Then, days 2 to 5, something called the walking ghost phase begins. The nausea subsides, you feel slightly better, you can eat a little, you can walk around. From inside and outside, it feels like recovery. It's not recovery. It's the gap between when the bomb struck your cells and when your body realizes enough tissue is dead to fail. Your white blood cell count, normally 7,000 per microliter of blood, is falling. Your immune system is slowly shutting down. Around you, other survivors are in this same phase. They move through relief stations. They eat rice brought from outside the city. Some are helping others, carrying children. They look like survivors of a terrible bombing. They don't look like people who've already been given a death sentence by physics. You don't have a word for what's happening. Japanese doctors are watching patients who appeared stable suddenly develop bloody diarrhea, bleeding gums, high fever, and die within days. They're dying of nothing. No wound, no infection, just slow internal dissolution. Level 5. The bleeding. Weeks 2 through 4. Your body hemorrhages. Day 11, your hair comes out in handfuls, crown of your head first, leaving exposed scalp. Everyone can identify radiation sickness by looking at you. Day 14, your gums bleed spontaneously. Your platelet count is falling towards 0. Blood in your urine, blood in your diarrhea, red spots hemorrhaging beneath your skin. Mortality at this stage, 50% for moderately exposed survivors. For those within 1,000 meters, 100% within 10 days. There's almost no treatment. Blood transfusions when available, vitamins, antibiotics. You either regenerate or you don't. Week 4. You're either dead or stabilizing. Your counts creep upward, bleeding slows. You're going to live. You're ibakusha now. You'll carry that word forever. Level 6. The silence. Months 1 through 6. The city is a graveyard. September comes. Oleander blooms on the hillside. You notice everything alive now. Hiroshima lost 90,000 to 166,000 people by December 1945. The atomic bomb dome stands beneath the hypocenter. It didn't collapse because pressure distributed symmetrically. You can see it from the relief station. At night, you dream of the white flash. You'll dream of it for the rest of your life. Level 7. The stigma. 1946 onward. You survived. Japan wants you to disappear. You're 15. You want a normal life, but you're ibakusha, and that word closes doors. You try to marry. The family rejects you. They fear radiation contamination, deformed children. This fear is factually incorrect. Decades of research found no increased birth defects, but nobody has that data yet. Employers refuse to hire you. You hide your ibakusha certificate. The stigma inherits. Your future children will be refused employment too. Level 8. The invisible enemy. 1947 to 1950. Leukemia appears. 2 years post-bombing, leukemia becomes detectable among survivors. It peaks 4 to 6 years later. 46% of leukemia deaths in heavily exposed populations were radiation-caused. You know a girl, 12 when the bomb fell, diagnosed 1948. In the hospital, she folds paper cranes. Japanese legend says 1,000 cranes earns a wish. She dies 1955. For solid cancers, thyroid, breast, lung, colon, increases don't appear until 10 years post-bombing. You live every year knowing the answer might be in the next blood test. Level 9. The government's silence. 1945 to 1957. You're a data point, not a patient. September 45. U.S. occupation suppresses atomic bombing reports. Medical records classified. Atomic bomb disease censored from newspapers. The Atomic Bomb Casualty Commission establishes 1947 to study radiation effects. They examine you. take blood, track outcomes. They don't treat you. You describe it. The American doctors measured us, took our blood, then left. We were experiments. Japan doesn't pass hibakusha medical legislation until 1957, 12 years after the bomb. Level 10, the final witness. Decades later. You're one of the last. You're 94 years old in 2025. You've outlived almost everyone. Your classmates who stood next to you in the schoolyard, the people you helped walk out of the rubble, the girl who folded cranes, the doctors who treated you, the scientists who studied you, the politicians who argued about your compensation. As of March 2024, 106,825 living hibakusha remain, average age above 85. Within the next decade, the living memory of Hiroshima, the actual physical memory, the body that was there, will be gone. In October 2024, your organization, Nihon Hidankyo, founded 1956, receives the Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Committee calls you a living reminder that nuclear weapons must never be used again. The award comes 79 years after the bomb. At the ceremony in Oslo, you're 93 years old. You speak to heads of state, diplomats, journalists from 60 countries. You say, "We're not asking you to remember our suffering because we want sympathy. We're asking you to remember it because the alternative is that it happens again." You're 94 years old. You wake up this morning, make tea, look out at green hills north of the rebuilt city where oleander blooms every summer since 1946, the first plant to grow back in ash, now Hiroshima's official flower. As of 2024, 106,825 registered hibakusha remain, average age above 85. There are currently 12,500 nuclear warheads in existence. That's not history. That's the present tense. You survived something the world is still trying to understand. But the Soviets didn't drop a bomb. They didn't need to. They had something slower, colder, and just as merciless. A rank system that could make a man disappear without a single explosion. Click the card. Your life as every rank in the Soviet Red Army starts now.